What is Bigfoot? A myth? A legend? A hoax? Or a real flesh and blood creature? What about the reported sightings of Bigfoot? They can't all be misidentified animals. And how is it that most Native American cultures have stories about Bigfoot? After 2 separate sightings of a Bigfoot type creature, I needed answers. I have now been researching Bigfoot for over 15 years, and I feel that my journey has just begun.
Hi, and welcome back to the channel. Today what we're doing is an extension on our When Bigfoot Attacks videos. We get quite a few reports from people about when a Bigfoot attacks or acts aggressively, so we take it seriously, and we do our best to find out where it happened, how it happened, and what exactly happened. But today, the first thing that we're going to tell you about is it was a Bigfoot encounter with a man in a four-wheeler. Now this happened in our research area, and one reason we like this area so much is because there is an aggressive Bigfoot here. But this gentleman had been riding his four-wheeler, putting out trail cams for the following deer season. He's looking for that big buck. Well, he gets his four-wheeler all muddy and everything, and decides that before he puts it back on the trailer, he's going to come down here to the creek and run through the creek a couple of times just to clean off his four-wheeler. So he comes down here and runs up and down through there, knocks the nut off, and decides it's about time to go. Well, as he pulls out, he stops for a second, looks around, and back on the other side of this creek right here, up on the little ridge, he saw Bigfoot. Now this Bigfoot was standing, the man said, about 7 foot tall. It was leaned sort of up against a tree. But when he saw the Bigfoot, and the Bigfoot realized that he had seen him, this Bigfoot, he just went crazy. He started stomping his feet, flailing his arms, grunting, did some whoop sounds, and then he just stopped dead still, took a deep breath, and let out a roar like the man had never heard in his life. He said he could feel it in his chest from across the creek, and that's about 30 yards from between him and the Bigfoot. He said he could feel it in his chest, the roar. So the man jumps back up on the four-wheeler, takes off up the road. Nothing else happened on that particular incident, but he did tell us about it, and we come down here and we checked it out, and we did see areas where the man pointed out where the Bigfoot had stood. We saw depressions in the ground, nothing that would definitively make a footprint, but the area around it with all the leaves and everything was all disturbed. So something happened right there, and we believe that the man was telling the truth, because 2 weeks later, after he had reported it to us, I called up with the man and asked him how his trail cams had done. He said he didn't know. He hadn't went and got them, and he wasn't sure if he was going to come back down here or not to hunt. That makes a lot of an impact on somebody, especially when you're paying over $400 a year just to hunt a piece of land. So if he's going to pay that and then decide that he's not going to hunt this year, I'm sure they're not giving no refunds. But it really did. It impacted this man pretty bad. So that's number one. We have several others in this area right here, but this is the one that I like the most because we did have a little bit of physical evidence to support the story. This is the creek that he was washing his four-wheeler off on. you can tell that it's very plausible that he did that. Come down here to ride the four-wheeler. There's even a place right here where he could have went in and come out, no problem. It's shallow. Water runs good. And we believe that it actually happened. The man was credible. Right up in here. Let me get back over this way so we can see it a little better. Right over here. Zoom in. Right up in here is where the man said that the Bigfoot was standing. Yeah. And that's where the Bigfoot started doing his little dance routine and flailing his arms around. And then he said, the man said that the Bigfoot just stopped, stood there for a second, took a deep breath, and let out a roar. Now, that was about 30 yards away. And the man actually said that he could feel it in his chest, and that's when he decided it was time to get out of Dodge. But people come down here all the time, and especially during the summer months, because this creek is shallow, clean, and we can see right here someone has done a little bit of stone stacking right here. What was the other one I saw? Yeah, they've got some stones right up over here. This is why I don't get too excited when I see stone stacking. People do it as therapy now, or just something to do while their kids are playing in the water. They'll come up here and, you know, stack up some stones watching their kids. But I know a lot of people say that Bigfoot do that, but if you can't prove that a Bigfoot done it, there's no need in getting real excited about it. Now, like I said, there is an aggressive Bigfoot in this area, and it would make one wonder if maybe even the Bigfoot done this right here. Small tree, broken, laid over. Right here on a little path. But as I said, this was number one, and there are several other stories right in this area, and we're going to get number two next. Our second encounter happened right here. We're right across the bridge from where the other incident happened, so like I said, we're in the area of an aggressive Bigfoot. Late at night, and these three boys were riding around in the boys' new four-wheel drive pickup truck. His dad had just bought it for him, and he thought he was just going to have some fun riding around. Well, he seen a mud puddle. He decided, I got to go through the mud puddle. He got stuck. His two friends decided that they would walk up the dirt road here to the main road and get someone to help pull him out. Well, while this boy's sitting there waiting, Bigfoot comes up behind his truck, slaps the truck twice, freaks the boy out, and then the Bigfoot takes off into the creek. Well, the boy sits there for another 5 minutes, and he goes, I don't want to be here by myself no more. So he goes to look for his friends, takes off running up the road. Well, almost to the highway, he meets up with his friends, and they've done and got a Jeep to pull him out with, and they come back down here. The whole time he's telling them about this Bigfoot incident that he had, and this young boy doesn't even get back out of the Jeep to hook his own truck up. His friends hook up and pull it out. Once it's out, the boy gets back in the truck and drives off. But he was telling us about it about 3 days later, and I decided, well, I'm going to come down here and check it out. Found the mud puddle, and I found the tire tracks, and I seen where he had been pulled out. So that part of the story is very credible. Whether he saw a Bigfoot or not, I'm not sure, but I wouldn't doubt it down here. All right, this right here is the mud puddle that the boy got stuck in. As you can see, other people like to run through it. And undoubtedly, several people had run through it, got it all mushy on the bottom, and when that boy hit it, he got stuck. But what the boy told is a Bigfoot come up from over here on the other side of the road right here. Let's see. He come up from right up in here, walked in right behind his truck and slapped the back of it twice, and then took off right down through here and got in the creek bank and took off himself. So the story's plausible for being around here. Like I said before, we've got a aggressive Bigfoot down here. I just come down here a lot just to listen, see if I can hear anything. Several times I have. We have come down here and done research at night and heard several howls from Bigfoot and some wood knocks too. So this area is known for an aggressive Bigfoot. Now, I don't know why he's so aggressive. It could actually be that he is tired of people messing up his area. I mean, look at here. We got tires burnt. We got, looks like a dresser or something that somebody burnt down here. There's all kind of trash around here. So the, you know, Native Americans, some of the Native Americans actually say that Bigfoot is a protector of the forest. Well, maybe so. Maybe he's tired of people messing with his stuff around here, messing up his place, and just has no more tolerance for people. But it is something to consider. There is a lot of trash around here, and a lot of people do a lot of dumping down here. And it is sad, but that may be why the Bigfoot just says, I'm tired of y'all being in my area messing up my house. So he runs them off. I can live with that idea. Our third encounter happens right here. We're on top of a hill, and quite honestly, there's a lot of damage from a tornado up through here. They've cleaned up the land right now, but at the time that the incident that we're talking about right now happened, it hadn't been cleaned up yet. There was just a bunch of trees twisted and mangled out through here. But these two couples decided that they were going to go Bigfoot hunting after they had watched several of the Bigfoot shows on TV. They thought they were ready for such stuff. And they parked their vehicle right here where I'm parked. Got out, done a couple of locator calls. One of the men said he took an axe handle and beat on trees a couple of times, so there goes your wood knocks. And while they were sitting around listening, they were sort of talking too, and one of the women picked up a flashlight and was shining it out through the area, and about 20 yards from where they were parked, she saw a Bigfoot up amongst all the trees that were tore down by the tornado. She saw the Bigfoot, and they really didn't believe that's what it was. The woman said that she saw the Bigfoot. Two of the guys were like, let me see. No, that ain't a Bigfoot, no. Well, it moved, and when it moved, that freaked them out. They started hollering, crawling for their truck, and from what one of the men said, something actually started, a Bigfoot actually started throwing rocks at their vehicle and was pretty precise with the throwing. One of the women said she was hitting in the back of the shoulder while she was crawling in the vehicle. So that's the third encounter that was happened out here, and I really don't believe these people will be doing a whole lot more Bigfoot research, but that remains to be seen. To give you an idea of what these people were looking at, I really can't. This right here is a swath of land that was taken out by the tornado. Now, back over here, you can actually see a lot of the dead trees that were, well, let me see if I can find them in the viewfinder. There's a lot of the old trees that were cleared out of this area. But at the time that they had their little encounter, these trees were all over this area. They were just twisted, mangled piles of trees. And this is where they said they saw the Bigfoot, and probably right about where this little bush is right over here. Yeah, right there. That bush is where the Bigfoot was standing. Now, this part of the road is a fairly good piece of road, so this is where they decided that they were going to turn around at. Now, that tornado done a lot of damage right through here. It actually tore up a couple of homes further on back up the way. But this is the other side of the road, just to give you an idea of what the tornado had done. And I would imagine, with all this kind of damage, even if a Bigfoot wasn't very aggressive, he'd be pretty PO'd about his land being tore up like this. I sort of wonder if what goes through a Bigfoot's mind when a natural disaster like this happens. There's a bunch of the trees that were raked around. But right back over this area, you'll see the creeks down there in the hollow. I like to come up here at night and just sit here and listen. I still haven't had the encounter like a lot of people have had out here, but I'm only 5 miles from home, so when I get bored, I come out here, park right up here, and just sit and listen 2 to 3 hours at a time. And I have heard some locator calls, some screams, but I've never had an aggressive Bigfoot encounter, so we'll keep that at the bottom of the bucket list. So that was encounter number 3. So far we have given you 3 different incidents that happened on this road right here. This road's about 5 miles long. It's out in the country, about just a little piece outside of town, so I get to come out here quite a bit. And I do come out here quite a bit. I love it because it is supposed to be where an aggressive Bigfoot is. All the reports say he's aggressive, but I've never had any encounters with it. So this is our last report for today. Young boy, about age 23, 24, somewhere along there, and his father were out here on this road in a pickup truck one afternoon late, and they were picking up rocks. Seems the boy had just bought him a house, and his wife wanted to do some flower beds, and she wanted to line them with rock. And this is the road to get rock. So they're out here gathering rocks, riding down a little piece. Boy tells dad to stop, and his dad stopped, and he'd go over there and pick up the rock, put it in the bed of the truck. They head on down the road. Well, the boy started hearing something off to the side of him, off here in the woods, and he thought, well, it's a deer. It's late in the afternoon. It's a deer. But it wasn't. It was a Bigfoot. Now, what makes this encounter so unique is the boy didn't say the Bigfoot was walking on 2 feet. He said that it was like walking around on all fours, sort of stopping every few seconds and watching him and looking up at him and taking off again another 2 or 3 feet up the trail up in the woods here, and would stop and look at him again. And he was still in the process of trying to get it in his brain what he was seeing when the thing stood up. Now this boy's out here and he's picking up rocks on the side of the road, and undoubtedly that might have been what triggered the Bigfoot. The Bigfoot stood up, circled back around behind the boy in the woods, and come out into the road and started picking up rocks and throwing them at the vehicle. The boy jumped in and he told his dad, he said, "Man, get out of here." His dad, "What's going on?" And by that time his dad looked in the rear view mirror and he saw the Bigfoot standing in the middle of the road fixing to chunk another rock. Well, the dad took off. I talked to both of these guys, and both of them are very sincere about what they saw. You can't talk them out of what they saw. But I thought it was really interesting because this is the first Bigfoot encounter that I've ever had relayed to me where a Bigfoot was on all four to begin with. Most of the time when I hear a report, Bigfoot, he's standing 7 foot tall or even higher. But this one's totally different. It's very believable. I'm sure this boy is not the only one who's ever come down this road and picked up rocks. As a matter of fact, if I was going to look for rocks to put in a yard or something like that, this would be the first road I'd hit because there are plenty out here. But that's the last one of the videos, the encounters that we're going to put on this video, so I hope you've enjoyed them. There's definitely plenty of rocks on this road, so that part of the story, I can truly believe that the boy was out here picking up rocks. This is what the landscape looks like around here. The boy saw the Bigfoot up in here. Like I said, it was on all fours, sort of walking beside him, keeping an eye on him, till the boy picked up one rock. Picked up another rock and put it on the back of his truck, and then the Bigfoot stood up and then walked around behind where the boy and his dad were in a sort of semicircle and got right out here in the road. And when the boy put the rock in the truck to get out of here, Bigfoot started picking up rocks and throwing it at him. Now, the boys did not say how big the rocks were. He said about fist size, but you know, with different people, that's different sizes. So the Bigfoot didn't pick up a big boulder and throw it at them. It was just rocks. But they got on out of Dodge when that started happening. I can't say I blame them. Any kind of aggression on a Bigfoot's part is too much aggression, if you ask me. But that's why I'm drawn down to this road a lot. As a matter of fact, our last video, the question and answer series, we done it going down this road right here. And I was really hoping that we might actually catch something on the video camera. And that was the whole reason behind doing it on this road. We hope you'll like and subscribe. If you're not a subscriber, subscribe to the channel, because we're trying to build it up. And I'm trying to get at least one video in every week. This is something I'm trying to do, just build up my channel. So if you can help me out, I'd appreciate it very much. Tell your friends about these videos if they like Bigfoot content. We're not going to sit out here and make up stories or make up evidence of Bigfoot activity, but And this is the real deal. This is not doing something for the audience. This is, if it happens, we're gonna try to get it. If it don't happen, well, I don't reckon we got anything to get, because we're not gonna fake anything for the channel. We want everybody to know that when they watch one of our videos, it's the real deal. But this is the road that the aggressive Bigfoot lives on. And like I said, it's not that far out of town. And after eating supper and seeing what's on TV or whatever else, some nights I'll just come out here and ride down through here and stop at the bridge or stop somewhere along the way and just sit and listen. Do a couple of tree knocks and see what we can roust up. But thank you for your support, and like I said, if you're not a subscriber, please subscribe. We're trying to build the channel. Thank you. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you did, please like and subscribe.
And tell your friends.
Also find us on Facebook, Alabama Georgia Bigfoot Research Group.